Hey guys, happy Monday. I am so glad to be here with you today because I too need to stretch out all of the tight places shoulder or no, neck, shoulders, hips, and calves. So I hope you're ready for our practice. All you're going to need today is one block. Maybe. If you are used to practicing with two, as per usual, there's always options to work with props as you need, as you want. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and start our 45-minute practice together. As per usual, we get to say that now. Go ahead. Start by grounding, Sukhasana. Your legs crossed in easy pose. Or, of course, if your knees are injured or sore, you can always just stretch them out. If you need a little bit of support for that low back, prop yourself up on a book or a block. All right. Hands, as you settle in, cupped over your knees or palms face the sky, whichever feels most natural. And on your next exhale, allow your eyes to drift closed. This is perfect. The first few breaths to give yourself permission, to give yourself space to just arrive. So give yourself the space to arrive. Feel yourself sinking back into your body. Let's settle in with two releasing breaths. On your next inhale, take a long, deep inhale through your nostrils. Fill up your heart, fill up your lungs. And don't hold back. Exhale, side out through your mouth. Letting go of all that does not serve you, including any interactions, memories, thoughts that you've had today or in the past weeks or months or years that still linger. One more time, a long, deep inhale through your nose. And take an extra sip in when you think that you don't have any more air. Take one more tiny sip in and don't hold back. Exhale. Side out through your mouth. It's almost as if you can feel the tension leaving your body as your shoulders drift away from your ears. As you become more aware of the body sensations within you. And this almost full body sigh of relief takes over you as you realize and you come to the recognition that you're here now. You have arrived. And for the next 45 minutes or so, there is no concern in your external world that is more perfect than where you are right now. You breathing, you being here is the best, is the absolute most that you can do for yourself for this next 45 minutes or so. And as you breathe that in, notice a little bit more. Perhaps as you sink back into your body, you can notice the sensation on the insides of your palms, the sensation in the soles of your feet. Drifting back into this inner world experience. This is truly all that counts, your inner world experience. Nothing really has meaning until we make the meaning out of it. And depending on what's happening in your inner world, whether it's tumultuous or maybe it comes from a place of clarity, is the meaning that you make out of your experiences. So If it's raining, which might today actually, if it's raining, a place of peace and clear inner world can say, ah, yes, it's raining. The flowers are going to bloom. How exciting. The dirt is getting washed away. How refreshing. How reviving. When we're in a tumultuous, maybe a negative space, it can be, oh, it's raining. How dreary. How absolutely bad timing. I was going to go for a run, but now I can't go for a run. Same circumstance, different experience. You get to choose. And with our yoga practice, including this meditation or grounding work that we're doing, what we're really doing is we're priming your body, mind, and your breath to air toward the side that feels better, to air toward the side that gives you a good experience, that helps you create good meanings out of everything that happens for you. Okay, one more deep breath. Long, deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. And on your next inhale, flutter your eyes open, arms come up toward the sky, reach up, stretch up. Let's take our time today. Sway from side to side. Holy cow. This is actually the first movement that I'm getting. Usually I have a bit of a morning practice, but today I missed it. So my ribs are so tight. Maybe you feel the same way too. Especially if, like me, you were curled up on the couch watching Netflix for most of the weekend. Now I've admitted it to you. Okay, eventually come back to center. Go ahead, reach forward, draw your belly button to your spine, round that upper back area, wake it up, your neck, your upper shoulders, your entire spine. Inhale, rise up, reach up, and on your exhale, let that left hand come down onto your right knee, right hand behind you. Sit tall, move slow. Sit tall with your torso, with your spine. And imagine your spine staying in the exact same place as it is, but your rib cages spiral around the axis of the spine. Nice, gentle twist, so nothing too strenuous to start off with. Inhale back to center. Reach up with both your hands. Stretch up. Reach forward, a seated cow. Belly button to your spine. Seated cat. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, right hand over your left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Again, keep your spine exactly where it is and allow your rib cages to spiral around that spine. The movement coming through your torso, not so much the neck. Gentle twist, just getting a feel for how that upper body is feeling today. Inhale back to center and inhale, reach your arms right wide out beside you. Stretch your chest open and clasp your hands together. Let's bring it a bit further. Draw those clasped hands down towards your tailbone, straight down, heart up toward the sky. Inhale, energize. And exhale, release. Hands come back down onto your knees, right shoulder, right ear to right shoulder, right hand over top of your head. You're never pulling on your head. You're just simply allowing the natural weight of that right hand to give you a little bit more traction. Left ear falls away from that left shoulder. Let it be easy. And if you're feeling good, you want a bit more, left hand plants down beside you. If you're good, you want a little bit more. Left fingers point up toward the sky. Inhale. Head comes up. Hand comes back down onto your knee. Left ear to left shoulder. Left hand over top of your head, getting a feel for that right neckline. And again, not pulling. There's no pulling, just gently allowing the natural weight of that left hand to give you a little bit more traction. And as you notice how your right neckline is doing, perhaps you notice that you want more. If you want more, right hand plants down toward the ground beside you. You can even imagine that I've got like a light sandbag and I'm just placing it right on your right shoulder. encouraging that right shoulder to find space. And if you want more than that, right fingertips point up toward the sky. Stretch that arm out. Soften the edges of your upper body. Nice. Inhale, rise up, both hands back on your knees. And when you do that kind of opening, when you reach your fingers up, sometimes you can feel that referral pain. You know, sometimes when you get a massage, especially through your neck and shoulders, kind of shoots down your arm, then you know you're a little tight today. Okay, a little more for the neck. Chin to chest. Rock your head either towards the left or the right. Allow it to slowly, so very slowly come back to center and over toward the left. Or you could have started with the left and end off with the right. Your choice. These kind of half circles, half moons. Take your time. Finding more space each time, moving slowly, that you reach either side of your neckline. And eventually come on back to center. Arms stretch out right wide out beside you. Clasp your hands together. Draw those clasped hands, knuckles down towards your tailbone. Inhale, take an inhale through your chest. Energize and exhale. Gently release. Hands come forward. Feet come behind. Cat cow. So we'll move at kind of a brisk pace today. Brisker pace. Brisker is even a word. So we're not moving fast. But everything that we do just feels good. And even though we're moving at more of a bit brisk pace today, still no rush. Monkey mind does not need to rush. Your body does not need to rush, meaning that if you want to take an extra beat at any of the postures, do so. Nice. Keep going with those cat cows. Inhale, tailbone to the sky and gaze up to the ceiling. And exhale, round your back. Press your hands into the ground. Dome up that upper back area. Tuck your tailbone in. And keep going at your own pace. Slow or as fast as you want. I do encourage you to go a little slower so that you can kind of sink into the sweetness of the posture to really experience, especially in, let's say, cow right now, the stretching through the belly. And in your cat, the opening through as you press your hands into the ground, your upper back, upper shoulder, neck area. And free flow. Moving now in any direction that feels good to you. Any direction. Make stuff up. Usually in in-person classes, I say no one really cares what you're doing anyway. But now that you're at home for real, no one really cares what you're doing anyway because no one else is looking. Maybe you sway from side to side. If your hips are feeling particularly tight, maybe some hip circles will do. Left hip to your left heel, rounding it over toward the right. And then right hip to your right heel, rounding it to the left. Child's pose, if your hips are child's pose if you want, and if your calves are tight, stretching one leg out and the other. Keep it light, keep it playful. You cannot do this incorrectly when it comes to body awareness. Okay, eventually, we'll call that good. Come back to tabletop position. Inhale, right arm up toward the sky. Open up the chest. Focus on the opening through your chest so that you're not spiraling all the way open with just your hips. Your chest, right arm up toward the sky, and exhale, sweep. Right arm underneath your left, land on the right shoulder, your head to follow. Maybe you want to wrap that left hand behind your back towards your right hip. Feels so good, especially if your shoulders are tight. Nice. Left hand back down beside you. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Nice and slow. Stay here for a hot second. Nice. Keep that chest opening up. Going to help alleviate any of the tightness in your shoulders as well. And exhale, plant that right hand back down. Inhale, left arm up toward the sky. Check out how this side of your body's feeling. For me, this side's really tight, and we usually do have one side that's tighter than the other. And exhale, sweep. Left arm underneath the right, land on your head. Or land on your shoulder, head to follow. Full weight of your head down on the ground. Yeah. Give that neck a little bit of space. And if you want more, just a tad more, wrap that right hand behind your back towards your left hip. And exhale. Plant that right hand back down beside you. Inhale, nice, slow and controlled. Left arm up toward the sky. Stretch open that chest and exhale, plant your hands back down. Sweep your feet out in front of you and come all the way down onto your back. No, sometimes it's fun to start on the back. So just kind of stay exactly as you are, the soles of your feet down on the mat. Get a gauge for how that back side of your body is feeling. And then hug your knees into your chest, maybe rock from side to side. Getting a little bit of warm up for that low back. Eventually, plant your left foot back down, cross your right leg over your left. Nice. Pigeon. If you want more, need more, pick up that left leg. Clasp your hand behind your left hamstring. Both sets of toes point up toward the sky. Work on drawing that right knee toward the top of your mat and work on drawing that left knee into your right, but only taking as much as you want. This is really just the first hip opening that you're doing, so be very, very gentle with yourself. Nice. Gently allow that left foot to come down. Hug the back of your right leg and go ahead, draw the right sole of that foot up toward the sky. If it doesn't hurt your back in any way, go ahead, lengthen that left leg down onto the mat. Right toes keep pointing toward the door, the window, or the wall behind you. You can bring a bend into your right knee if you need. Again, this is just the beginning, so be very gentle with yourself. Nothing strenuous quite yet. This is just feel good. With that said, if you're ready for more, you feel pretty warm and you need more, go ahead, hug your hands into your hamstring and gently draw it back. Nice and gentle. Bring a bend into that right knee, a bend into your left knee, and then go ahead, cross it over like a pretzel. Right knee over top of the left. So at this point, maybe you can take hold of your ankles, but if not, take hold of your pant leg, your calves, or even just your knees. Both sets of toes point up toward the sky. If you do have your hand on your ankles, then you've probably already figured it by now that as you draw your ankles closer into your body, you get more of an opening. And this one feels so good for your IT band and on the outside of your hips. So only take as much as you want, much as you need. We've got plenty of opportunities to keep opening up. We're just getting warm. Nice, gently release. And left leg crosses over the right, pigeon pose, or reclined pigeon. If you want more, need more, pick up that right leg. Both sets of toes point up toward the sky. Focus on drawing that left knee toward the top of the mat, or sorry, that left knee toward the top of the mat, right knee into the left. And again, just notice simply body awareness. And body awareness is so good because it helps you become aware of your habits and your tendencies throughout the day. Awareness is absolutely the first step. Because if you don't know what you don't know, then you can't make a change. And once you become aware, you can make a change only if you choose to do so. Okay, go ahead. Allow that right foot to come all the way down. Clasp the back of that left leg. Toes point behind you. Sole of that left foot comes all the way up toward the ceiling. And as you're ready, if it doesn't hurt your back in any way, shape, or form, let that right foot come all the way down. If I wore colored pants, you guys could probably see this better, but holy, look at my left leg. Again, I'm not warm today yet. So that left leg of mine is so much tighter than the right. And now I know. Now I know so that I can start making decisions throughout the day. If I happen to lean more on the right or I'm not paying enough attention to the left side, I can do something about it. But more importantly, now I know how far I can bring myself so that I can practice safely. And same with you. There's always a variation. You always have the option of being easier on yourself. Okay, go ahead. Bring a bend into that left knee, bring a bend back into that right, and this time cross a reclined cow facing pose. Left knee over top of the right. Again, grab your pant leg, grab your calves, or just your hands on your knees. If you can, your hands on your ankles. Hugging the knees into your body is going to help you open up the left side of your IT and outer hip even more. Long, deep inhale. Long, deep exhale. Use your breath to guide you throughout your practice, throughout every single practice. Steady breaths. No matter where you are and what you're doing, steady breaths. And the steady breath will always remind you that there's a variation. It will always remind you that you get to move at your own pace. No matter how fast or how slow I'm going, you get to move at your own pace, whatever feels best to you. Okay, that was a primer because we're going to get right into it. Uncross those legs, hug your knees into your chest. Okay, if any part of your back is in pain or sore today, just tip on over to one side and use your hands to help you up. But otherwise, go ahead, rock up and down, hands behind your knees, up and down, a bit of a spinal massage, 3 to 5 times until you're ready to keep on going. Once you're ready, keep on going. Roll all the way up to seated. Hands come forward, feet hop back, flow through. Chat. Did I get enough snap more onto your belly? Inhale, upward dog or cobra, belly button to spine. Nice. Hips up toward the sky. Figure out your hands, figure out your feet for downward dog. Pedal out your knees. Right then left, left then right. I'm totally noticing how tight my calves are right now, so the pedaling feels so good for me, and I hope it does for you too. Okay, whenever you're ready, give yourself a check, your foundation. Your hands are about shoulder distance apart, your feet about hip distance apart. Press down with all the pads of your fingers and the bottom of your knuckles, especially your forefinger and your thumb, to spread the weight evenly between both wrists. Hips up, just your hips toward the sky. Point the backs of your legs toward the window behind you. Nice. Firm that belly button to your spine. Inhale, come forward, high plank, warming up those shoulders. Notice your shoulders stacked over your elbows, stacked over your wrists. Exhale, hips come up first, belly button still to your spine. Downward dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward dog. Keep pressing down with those fingers, pads of your fingers and your knuckles. Inhale, high plank, 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale, steady breath, belly button to your spine. Gently tuck that tailbone in. Inhale. And exhale, nice press all the way back. Hips come up first, downward dog. Taking a short break here in downward dog for 2 breaths or a child's pose if you'd like. Then let's try something different. From downward dog, let's roll. Let's roll, starting with your belly button to your spine. Begin to round your shoulders. Roll all the way forward. Nice. Until you come into a plank. And press into your hands. Round your shoulders. Hips come all the way up toward the sky. Downward dog. So this changes because it's not so mechanical, just coming forward and back. This time you're really asking for all the little muscles in your arms to work for you. Shoulders come up high up onto your tippy toes, round your shoulders, roll all the way into high plank, really pressing down through your fingers, and press all the way back. Holy cow, now we're pretty warm in the upper body area. Okay, inhale, right leg up toward the sky. Point the right heel up toward the sky. Nice. Try to keep your hips square. Bring a bend into that right knee. Nice. Try to allow that knee to become the highest point of this pose. Draw your left ear away from your left shoulder. Heeling open into that right hip. Leg comes back behind you and gaze in between both hands. Exhale. Right foot in between both hands. Awesome job. Low runner's lunge. You absolutely have the choice to allow that left knee to come down, especially if that left hip flexor is pretty tight today. Or you can keep that knee lifted. Okay, if your knee is down, bring it back up and let's flow. Exhale, straighten out that right leg, knee to your shin. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Exhale, nose to your shin. I think I said knee before, so nose to your shin. I would be impressed if you could bring your knee to your shin somehow. One more time. Exhale, nose to shin. Low runner's lunge. Really notice where you're at with that left hip flexor. Okay, and then step forward. Left foot steps forward to meet the right. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, lower down. And you can either forward fold if you're ready for it, or do a little bit of a ragdoll. Ragdoll is opposite hand to opposite elbow. Rock your body from side to side or up and down. And you can absolutely bring a bend into your knees, especially if it's pulling on your low back in any way. Bring a bend in your knees. Okay, inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, arms come all the way up toward the sky. Interlace all five fingers, release the index. Inhale, stand tall through your ribs, but tuck your bottom two ribs in. Exhale, tip on over toward the right-hand side. Allow that right hand to guide your left, peeling open into your rib cage, breathing into your left lung. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And exhale toward the left-hand side. Left hand guides the right. It's almost like as if you can feel your ribs peeling apart from each other. Finding space. Inhale, reach up, hands to heart center, palms face forward. Inhale, right arm straight out in front of you. Next arm, left arm, your next arm, wraps under, up, and over. Nice. Eagle arms. And just take a moment here with wherever, I'm going to be right here so you can see me, with whatever your hands have landed. And just take a few mindful breaths. So don't worry about where your hands are landed and what you really look like just yet. Just take a couple of mindful breaths so that when you inhale, imagine the backside of your shoulders opening up, expanding. Exhale, releasing the tension. Inhale, expanding the backside of your shoulders. And your breath. Exhale, release. Nice. And now, if you're ready, go ahead, draw the palms of your hands together. The bottoms of your palms match up. Your elbows towards your heart center and maybe even up toward your chin a little bit. And begin pulsing, just small, nothing crazy, just very small, maybe a millimeter, up and down as you go ahead and release tension from the backs and the tops of your shoulders. Bring your arms back to stillness. A gentle bend in your knees and exhale, forward fold. Let gravity do the work for you here. Almost as if you can feel your shoulders spilling away from each other. Any tension, anything that gets knotted up begins to get the memo that it can let go now. It can soften. If it feels good, if it feels right to you, go ahead, straighten out your legs. And gently unwind your arms. Nice. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands, hop or step toward the back of the mat, flow through, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Belly button to spine, exhale. Downward dog. Nice. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, hips come back first, downward dog. And roll forward, high plank. Almost like as we're undulating. One more time. Hips come up first. Come high up onto your tippy toes. Roll forward, high plank. And back into downward dog. Inhale, left leg up toward the sky. Heel up toward the sky. Square your hips toward the top of the mat. Press down with your fingertips and your bottoms of your knuckles. Bring a bend into that left knee. Heel open into your left hip. Draw your right shoulder away from your right ear. Nice opening for that left hip. Steady breath. Bring that leg back behind you. Gaze in between both hands. And exhale. Nice, slow and controlled plant. Left foot in between both hands. You can take the first portion of your low runner's lunge with your right knee up or your right knee down. If your right knee is down, now's a good time to lift it back up as we flow. Exhale, straighten out that left knee. Nose to your shin. Inhale, low runner's lunge, noticing how that right hip flexor is doing. Exhale, nose to shin. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Exhale, nose to shin. Inhale, low runner's lunge and step forward. Right foot in comes meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, lower down. The weight more or less on the balls of your feet. You can, if you'd like, heel toe your feet until they're about 4 inches apart. Take your peace fingers and wrap them over your big toes for a forward fold variation. And in this forward fold, you notice the entire back leg line opening up, especially the hamstrings. Gently release your hands and inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, arms come up toward the sky. This time, opposite hand to opposite elbow. You choose which side first, and exhale, come on over toward the right-hand side. Notice your hips. There's usually a tendency to sway back with one hip or the other. So whatever square feels like to you. If both hips were headlights and they were facing forward, what would that feel like? Inhale, rise up. And exhale, switch your grip over toward the opposite side. Again, noticing your hips, nice square hips. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Left hand comes forward. Right arm wraps under, up and over. Just stick around here. Exactly where you've landed is perfect. And take a couple of mindful breaths. Inhale, the backs of your shoulders open and expand. Exhale, release of the tension. Inhale, expansion between both sides of the shoulders. Exhale, release of the tension. Okay, now if you can, draw the palms of your hands closer together, allowing the heels of your hands to meet your elbows towards your heart center, maybe even your elbows up towards your chin, lightly pulsing, just a millimeter, up and down toward the chin and toward the heart, alleviating any of the tension throughout your shoulders. And eventually find stillness. Bring a soft bend into your knees and forward fold with your eagle arms. Stay here a couple of breaths as you allow gravity to take over, gravity to do some work for you. Shoulders peeling away from each other. And if it feels good to you, go ahead, stretch your legs back out. And gently unwind your arms. Nice. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands. Hop or step toward the back of the mat. Flow through, lower down. Chaturanga or onto your belly. And inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Bring a bend into your knees. Come high up onto your tippy toes and hop or step toward the top of the mat. If you're hopping, land like me. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, arms up toward the sky, hands to heart center, palms face forward. Take one big step back with your right foot. Right toes point toward the long edge of the mat. Open up your arms, warrior two. Nice. Nice strong gaze past your left fingertips. Left elbow on your left leg. Inhale, left arm up and over your right, or right arm up and over your right ear. Extended side angle. If you'd like, you can open up your wings. You can probably feel this as you strengthen your left calf and your left leg, but also beginning to open up into your left hip as well. Allow that right shoulder to stack over top of the left. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Nice. Your warrior two. Straighten out that left leg. Pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat. Hands to either side of your hips. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Eventually, your hands come down onto the mat. Or a block or a blanket. Use whatever you would like, whatever you need to support you. Now, if it's easy for you, you're not feeling too much here with the palms of your hands down on the ground, go ahead, come down onto your elbows. Giving some time for your inner leg line to open up. Inhale, belly button to your spine. Rise all the way back up with a flat back. Pivot right toes toward the back of the mat. Open up, warrior two, nice and strong. Keep that right leg engaged as that right knee aligns with that right ankle. Strong gaze past your right fingertips. Right elbow on your right leg. Inhale, left arm up and over your left ear. Stay here a while as you allow the left fingertips to stretch and reach toward the wall or the door or the window beside you, lengthening your entire side body. And if you'd like, you can open up your wings. This time, left shoulder stacking over top of the right. Noticing the strength in the right calf and the opening in the right hip. Inhale. Rise all the way back up. Straighten out that right leg. Pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat. Clasp your hands together behind you. Inhale, heart up toward the sky. And as you exhale, crown of your head toward the top of the mat. If you're ready, as you're ready, bring those clasped hands up and overhead. And again, if this feels like as your bones are grinding against each other and it does not feel good, then just leave your hands down by your sacrum. If your hands do feel good up and overhead, see if you can find your edge. If you can go just a tad further. And hands come back down towards your sacrum. Nice. Allow your hands to come out in front of you. Tone your belly button to your spine. Rise all the way up with a flat back. Now is a good time to grab that block or books. Take your block or your books, place it toward the outer edge of that left foot. Pivot your left toes toward the front of the mat. Open up, warrior two. Let's do one more extended side angle. Your choice, whichever variation you want. Left elbow on your left leg or open up your wings. You might even take a bind this time if you'd like. Okay, if you're in a bind, gently release, open up your wings. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Keep this left leg engaged and left hand on the block beside you. Allow yourself to keep engaging that left leg as you allow that right leg to take flight into standing half Moon pose. Right toes point directly to the wall across from you. Right arm up toward the sky. Keep kicking back with that right foot. Keep kicking back to keep balance. Bring your gaze 2 feet in front of you to keep balance. Nice. Gently bring a bend into that left leg. Lower yourself down as lightly as possible. Back into warrior two. Take the block with you as you straighten out that left foot, point it to the long edge, switch sides. Right foot toward the short edge, the back of your mat. Block or book toward the outer edge of that right foot. Open up, warrior two. Nice and strong. So keep that engagement in that right leg, right knee in line with that right ankle. Gaze past your right fingertips. In your choice, extended side angle, any variation that you like. Moving at a brisk pace, but not rushing. If you're in a bind, gently release that bind. Reopen up your wings. Rise all the way back up to warrior two. Keep that leg engaged. Right hand toward the block or the books beside you. And if you are on a block, it can be on medium or it can be on there. You can see it better. High. And as you engage that right leg, inhale, press into that right leg and allow that left foot to take flight. I'm barely getting there myself. Nice. Keep kicking back with your left foot. Left arm up and overhead. Your gaze 2 feet in front of you to help you keep balance. Focus on that gaze. And slowly, as gently as you can, drop yourself back into a warrior two. Wow, you did it. Awesome job. Straighten out that right leg, pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat, arms up overhead, and exhale, bring a bend into that left knee, low runner's lunge, hands to either side of that left foot. Both hands toward the inner edge of that left foot toward the outer edge of the mat, lizard pose. Peel open onto the outer edge of that left foot, and left hand on left leg, or you can come down onto your elbows or a block. You always have the option of being down on that right knee instead. If you're on the palms, or if you're on your elbows, come back up onto the palms, your hands full sole of that left foot back down on the mat. Gently lower down onto that right knee, tops of your right foot down on the mat. And left hand to left leg, getting a little bit more for that hip flexor, a little bit for that left hip. If you want more than this, you want a little bit of a quadricep stretch and then you're absolutely welcome to it. Just simply bring a bend into that right knee, reach back with that left hand and take hold, if you can, to that right foot. Sometimes a simple bend in that right knee is enough to feel it in your quadriceps. So only take what you need. If you do have a hold of that right foot, gently, ever so gently, without slingshotting it, allow that right foot to come all the way back down. Nice. Heel toe that left foot all the way toward the right hand side of the mat until that leg totally collapses. And then go ahead and lengthen that right foot back behind you, shoelace side, with your right foot back on the mat. You found yourself in pigeon. If you'd like, you can place a block underneath that left hip. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead, lower down to whichever variation of pigeon that you would like, that you need. Inhale, come on back up onto the palm of your hands. Tuck your right toes underneath the mat. Inhale, left leg up toward the sky. Exhale, plant that left foot back down. Inhale, right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, sweep that right foot in between both hands. Low runner's lunge. Both hands toward the center of the mat, right foot toward the outer edge. Peel open onto the outer edge of that right foot. Lizard pose. You have a choice of keeping your left knee up, or you can allow that left knee to come down. You can stay on the palms of your hands, or you can come down onto your elbows. Take whatever it is that your hips and hip flexors need today. Inhale, come on back up onto the palms of your hands, full soul, that right foot back down on the mat, gently lower down onto that left knee, and right hand on your right leg. A little bit more for that hip and hip flexor. If you want it for your quadricep as well, then perhaps you bring a bend into that left knee. Again, sometimes this bend is already enough for you to feel it through your quadricep. But if you want more than that, reach back with that right hand, take hold of that left foot. Only if it feels good. And gently, slowly allow that left foot to come all the way down. If it is picked up onto the mat. Heel toe that right foot all the way across to the left hand side of the mat until your shin collapses onto the mat. Nice. Found yourself in pigeon on the other side. Lengthen that left leg back behind you, shoelace side of that left foot down on the mat. If you'd like, you can place a block underneath that right hip. And you know that you need a block underneath that right hip if it feels like as if it's really pulling. There's a lot of tension there. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Your elbows on a block or a book or a blanket. You can have your forehead on stacked fists. Then inhale. Rise back up onto the palm of your hands. Tuck your left toes underneath the mat. And inhale, right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, your very last downward dog of the day. You can pedal it out one last time if you'd like. And come onto your knees. Sweep your feet out in front of you. Roll all the way back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rock from side to side if it feels good. And boy, it sure feels like time flew by so fast with you today. It's already time to end off with Shavasana. So whenever you're ready, stretch your legs out in front of you. Let your feet flop out to either which way. Your arms down beside you, your hands face the sky. Make sure that your shoulder blades are nice and flat up against the mat. Soften. Head down to your toes, soften. Softening immediately. There is no part of your body that needs to be gripping, that needs to be working right now. Your eyes can drift to the back of your head. Your whole face can soften. Your jaws can soften. Your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Come back to breath. And we'll come back to breath with one releasing breath. A long, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale, don't hold back. Sigh through your mouth. Long, deep, full breaths. Taking 3 of the longest, deepest, fullest breaths that you've taken all day to complete your practice. Shavasana is actually the reason why we do the practice at all, so that you can get to this place where you're open to and willing to take your rest. It is also the final posture to allow yourself to integrate the benefits of your practice. So, knowing that your practice has already integrated within you, that you've taken what you've needed, you've left what you didn't, begin to gently reawaken. A little bit of movement back into your body, fingers and toes and hands and feet. On your next inhale, allow a sense of energy to rise up within you and stretch your arms up overhead. Nice deep morning stretch. Feeling a little open than before as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest, your arms around your knees, rock from side to side. Eventually tip on over to one side or the other and use your hands to help you up into a seated position. And although these are a little bit of a faster movements that we did today, they're still mindful. There's still the sense of these long, deep inhales and exhales. Bring your hands towards your heart center. Anjali Mudra, bow in towards yourself, closing your eyes one very last time. And take a moment here, before you even recognize yourself or anything, to recognize any shifts within your body. Is there somewhere that feels more open, more awake, more revitalized within you? And with this newfound sense of alive energy, take a moment now to recognize yourself for coming onto your mat today, for giving yourself the time to practice, the space to practice, for moving at the pace that you needed to, for taking the variations that you needed to. Of course, to recognize the light within you. Okay. Go ahead, gently flutter your eyes open as per usual. I am so honored to be able to practice with you today. I had so much fun with you. I know I can't really see you on the other side of the screen, but it is possible because I definitely had fun. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I am looking forward to seeing you at the next class. Namaste.